The vice mayor, a great writer, wrote then in 1916 he was in meeting with lot of the Jewish vice and intellectuals, and they decided to confiscate the whole world, and they marked the areas on the land. Then they will confiscate this world, this area, this land, this region, and at the same time they also marked the Palestine. And in this way it was something flabbergasting for this reporter, and he abruptly said that what will you do with the Arabs if you are going to confiscate the Palestinians? And then one of the intellectual men said that he repeated his question and said, what will we will do with Arabs? Definitely after coming years Arab will not remain Arabs in Palestine. That is a point of the question. Whereas Jerusalem is always the center of the interest for the world largest three religions, Islam, Christianity, and the Jews. So, why Jerusalem is always a center of the interest for the world three largest religions, and is the present conflict of the Israel and Palestine is the modern and new concept, or it has the historically pre-rooted sentiments. So, I am going to explain all this from the lecture of the Sheikh Eman Didat, Arab Israel Conflict and Conciliation, from brotherhood to rivalry. There is really a huge journey between Arab and the Israel. Arab Israel Conflict and Conciliation is the lecture of the Sheikh Eman Didat, a renowned scholar of both Bible and the Quran, and whose what is the real story of the Jerusalem, from where this story started? Every Muslim should know this because it is something related to and consulted to or religion too. So we know that the Solomon temple, the holy temple of the Jews, has been destroyed by a ruler known as Nebuchadnezzar. He destroyed and smeared the Solomon temples into stones, and from where the first diaspora of the Jews started in time of the Prophet Uzair al-Islam. And Prophet Uzair al-Islam then took the responsibility for remigration of the Jews to their homeland, Jerusalem again. So once again, the Jews got their homeland, and now after the crucifixion, as most of the Jews believe in the crucifixion of Christ, so after the crucifixion of the Christ, their fate again turned into misfortune, and this time this fate was written by the hand of a Roman known as Titus, who again smeared the Solomon temple, the holy temple, into the stones, and once again the second diaspora of Jews started from the land of Jerusalem in different parts of the world, as explained in Surah Bani Israel. And it is mentioned in the Surah Bani Israel that, O peoples of the Israels, we have made you immigrated twice in the land. So Bani Israel made a two times immigration in the land. The first diaspora and second diaspora. But the second diaspora of the Bani Israel was like the revenge from all the world, and that's why from where the issue and real conflict of the Israel and Palestine started. Actually both Jews and Arabs have been engaged in a brotherly relationship from thousands of the years. They were considering themselves as the cousins of one another. A scientist in 1918 started to make the gunpowder for the Jews, and the Jews were very excited at that time, that first time they got the gunpowder just to retaliate from lot of the nation, because they always have the fire of the revenge smoldering in their souls. So they got the gunpowder, and as a reward and as a gift, the Jews then presented him the Palestine as the Jewish land. That was really an alarming sign for the Arabs, because first times the Jews gave Palestines as the Jewish lands to someone by claiming their whole hold on the Palestine. At that times the Arab starts screaming that Palestine belongs to Arab. But we know that the Arab were illiterate and ignorant at that times, and they couldn't make a strategy strategically designed agreement with the Jews. And then Hazrat Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu allowed the Jews to come in Palestine, but they cannot buy their property in the Palestine. But after that, when the Jews got the gunpowder, it was a point of excitement for the how the Jews got the gunpowder. It was really a point of excitement for a lot of the Jews. Now they can take the revenge of the suffering being imposed on them badly by all the worlds. And now they are in the mood of the Avengers, and they are taking the revenge from the whole world. And in 1921, when the Balfour Declaration came, that the Britain government allowed the entry of the Jews in land of the Palestine, and they can buy the property here, and from where the real conflict between the Palestine and Israel started. Because now the Israel is claiming their confiscation on the territory of Palestine. Palestine got brutally grabbed, brutally confiscated by the Israel, and the lot of the war started between the Israel and Palestine, especially in War of 1966, when real war between the Israel and Palestine started. Then the America came as the mediator between the war of Israel and Palestine. And America decided, he then divided the area between the Israel and Palestine, that some part of the Palestine belongs to Israel, and some part of the Palestine belongs to Palestine themselves, and third part is the mutual part of both Israel and Palestine. But it was badly snubbed and rejected by the sides of the Arab, and even the Palestine engaged in the conflict with the Israelis. And after that, the United Nations took the step to solve the Palestine conflict, and then he created a new state known as Israel that has been badly rejected by a lot of the countries of the world. The United Nations created the states known as Israel, and even the lot of the countries of the world are not accepting that the state like the Israel is existing in this world. Therefore, Israel faced severe opposition from the world largest countries and great number of the countries in the world. And then the conflict got more and more acceleration, and in 1966 a war started between the Israel and Palestine, and where the Israel got the victory, and Israel confiscated more areas of the Palestine, even the area near the Jerusalem, that was the independent and the mutual area of both Israel and Palestine. So that's why that has completely created more and more rebellion in Palestinians, and they now a new freedom movement or the freedom organization has been generated on the name of the Hamas. And then the Hamas claimed the why Hamas is considered as the terrorist organizations of the Palestine. Actually, Hamas is not in the condition to make any type of the agreement with the Israelis that is based on the blame games and the tricky ideas. That's why Hamas is working independently from Palestine government, and lot of the countries of the worlds are considering Hamas as the militant organization, because Hamas is in direct mode that the territory belongs to Palestine, and you cannot claim your confiscation that. So Hamas is in direct mode that the territory belongs to the Palestine, and this is their homeland, and you cannot blame your confiscation on the territory that belongs to you 4,000 years ago. So that's why Hamas has separated and split itself from Palestine government and engaged in the direct retaliation with the Israel, and that's why there is always retaliatory as well as therefore how there is always the retaliatory actions between the Hamas and the Israel. And we know that in the latest case where the Hamas hit the Israelis with more than 5,000 missiles, and in backlash and retaliation, Israel again hit the Palestine, and it is really a type of the operation known as the Alexa Storm, and in retaliation, the Israel started its operation named as Iron Sword. So there is always a great loss of the people from both the side, and Hamas is claiming to make hostage to Israeli peoples, and Hamas has also crossed the walls of the Israel. So it is really a very severe battle and severe and burning war between Hamas and the Israelis. But actually, who is on the fault line in the keep the Israel and Palestine conflict on one side? So we can see that it is not a legal way to confiscate someone territory on your previous blames that belongs to 5000 years ago, as Israel is claiming that this territory belongs to the Israel, as the Israel was the inhabitant of this territory 5000 years ago. And on this claim, they are replacing the present inhabitant and native of the Palestine. So I think that it is not a legal way to claim your confiscation on territory of any country that it belongs to you 5000 years ago. So Israel is really at fault in, and Israel has to accept this, that this territory doesn't belongs to the Israel on the previous claim. It is the real fate of the Arab Israel conflict. In 2006, then Israel decided to withdraw itself from this conflict because in War of 1966, Israel has confiscated many areas of Palestine, including Mosque Aqsa, but at the same time, the rebellion remained started between Hamas and Israel. And till in 2016, when Donald Trump announced that the Jerusalem is the capital of the Israel, and at that time the real violence started in Palestine, and it was the announcement not accepted by a lot of the Arab countries and lot of the countries of the world who were not accepting the Israel as a independent and free state of the. So a lot of the countries rejected to accept the Israel as the independent and the free state. We know that especially the countries that were the strong opponent of the crusade of the history, when the crusade started to and captured the Jerusalem. Pope Louis, Pope Alexander's, Pope Philip's, they openly started the war against all the nation of the world to protect the cross in Holy Land, Jerusalem, from where the crusade has created lot of their opponents, lot of the enemies with their religious and historical mindset based on the rivalry of the Israel. That's why Israel is not acceptable anyway. Oh, O people of the Israels, the Palestine belongs to you. And at the same time, the peoples of Israels are not fulfilling what their father has gave to them. So they have badly rejected and they have expelled out of the holy land Jerusalem.